Hello, everybody. Welcome to Leading Characteristics Part 7. Today, I will discuss an important remedy, Agaricus muscarius. The Agaricus muscarius is a mushroom. It's a red headed poisonous mushroom whose toxoids are used as medicine. Sometimes we may come across a boy who is very late learner, a stupid boy, can't follow the lessons taught in class, and know come to know the history of once being punished for making faces in the class. The teacher was new, she didn't know, and she punished the boy, and later she came to know that he is actually having muscle twitchings on his face. Again, we may come across a young girl who regularly gets scolded for dropping things. And during her puberty age, once she dropped a glassware and broke it, and she was scolded. And after that, she got convulsion. Again, we may find a man who is afraid to look direct face to face towards the women, towards the ladies, because he was once slapped for blinking or twitching at a woman. And later it was learned that he is actually having tics. Again, there may be a housewife who regularly drops things in the kitchen, breaks utensils, because she can't handle them properly. She can't take hold of the utensils. Once holding, all of a sudden, the fingers fly open and the thing drops and broken. Involuntary. Even though she tries her best to hold it properly, it happens. Now we find in natremia such things, there are other remedies. Now, when such things come, we should think of, or we should once remember of Agaricus muscarius. So, what are the symptoms that we must to remember Agaricus? Number one, twitching, trembling, jerking of muscles. From simple twitching of muscles of the face, the eyelids, we call tics, TICS, to severe chorea of the muscles of the extremities, the limbs, or the eyes rolling. The agaricus child, if he comes to chamber, you will find he is looking like this. He cannot, though he tries, or though he tries to fix his eyesight towards the doctor, upon the doctor, he can't. Or his head is rolling like this. This is Korea. Now, number 2 point. We find oversensitiveness to slight pressure, even pressure of the touch upon the spinal cord. We find agaricus in many rheumatic cases of the spinal column where there are sclerotic changes are found, and the patient is very sensitive to touch on the spinal column, on the vertebral column. There are pains going downwards or upwards, Often pains extend to the lower limbs, and along with that there is stiffness. Patient find it difficult to bend forward. It seems as if the backbone will break. It will break on stooping forward. And such things, the patient cannot lie on his or her back due to sensitiveness on the backbone. This is one second point. Third, I told awkwardness. What is awkwardness? The patient, due to incoordination of spinal nerves, there is loss of coordination of the muscles. The motor nerves lose their coordination. So the muscles show incoordination. The hands spasmodically they have become bent like this. The person cannot hold an item. Suppose he is holding like this, all of a sudden the fingers fly open like this, and involuntarily the patient has no control. The thing drops and breaks. If it is a breakable item, it will break. The patient tries to step straight, but the steps fall, the feet fall astride. They fall here and there, not in a straight line. Now, these things, the clumsiness in the movements of the hands, this is called awkwardness. And this is a characteristic of we find in Agaricus. Number four, these Agaricus patients, they are mentally tardy development. The tardy development of the brain, slow, sluggish development of the brain. The child is late in learning to talk, late in learning to walk. We find calcaria, late learner in walking. Actually, in calcaria, it is due to defective formation of the bone. The bone skeletal system is developed slowly or delayed. That's why they are late learner to not late learner, but they are able to walk very late. In Natremure, I find they are late learner due to poor brain development or stupidity of what will I say? Due to poor development of the nervous system. They take time to learn. They take time to understand. So they are also late learner to talk. In Natremure, we find. Agaricus is also late learner to talk and late learner to walk. They are imbecile children or imbecile persons, feeble minded. Feeble minded children we find in many other drugs like calcarea phos, natramure is there, baryta carb is there, borax, phosphoric acid, even calcarea carb. Agaric is also feeble minded children. They are mentally sluggish, do not like taking responsibilities. Now, why this? Because they are unable to comprehend, unable to grasp an idea promptly. They're slow, they're slow, they're tardy in their perceptions, in their brain work. So they cannot carry on with an idea, they cannot finish a work, they find it very difficult to get the whole idea and complete a task. So, due to this reason, they are irresponsible. They do not like to take tasks, responsibilities. Another thing, these children, they are they feel very bright during the evening hours. In the morning hours, they are gloomy, they are sluggish, they are irritated. In the evening hours, they feel bright, they are mirthful, they are happy, they whistle and sing. Yes, but the singing, whistling in inappropriate times. There is no reason to whistle or to sing or to all of a sudden there is no situation like that, and they again all of a sudden start singing or whistling of his own because they feel mirthful, and in the evening hours they do this. They become poetic. It is said that they are singers, and at the same time they are indifferent to their surroundings. They don't know what is going on around them. We often find agaricus useful in autistic children. Again, agaricus has rage. During all this, when everything, all this is going on, sometimes they become very angry. They become violent, and they can really strike. If something in front of their hand they find, they can strike. And one important characteristic here, it is in Kent's rubric, Kent's repertory, that rage, fury, strength increased. Rage, fury, strength increased. During the uh, episode of violent rage, the strength suddenly increases many times. The parents may think how the child, such a small child, they're astonished to think how such a small child is having so much strength. This is only two remedies in that repertory, in Kent's repertory, belladonna, agaricus. So this is the mind. Now another feature, number 5, that is in rheumatic cases, we often find agaricus patients having rheumatic problems, and in rheumatic cases, their pains travel diagonally or they are affected diagonally. Left shoulder, right knee, or right hand, left leg, in the spinal cords, in spinal affections, in nervous affections, we find agaricus often indicated. We find degenerative changes, sclerotic changes, and another important thing, all these pains they are aggravated in sitting or resting. They feel ameliorated in moving around. They feel ameliorated in moving about. While saying this, I can say remember that in delirium, the patient wants to get up and get out of the bed. He wants to go out. This is a characteristic. In delirium, it is indicated the patient often wants to get up and go out of the bed. বিছানা থেকে উঠে বাইরে বেরিয়ে যেতে চায়. This is a feature of agaricus in delirium. Now, this is also a general. If we now we will talk about general modalities. In general modalities, also agaricus find they are better by motion. All his or her complaints are better during sleep. If she is having a headache, uh, joint pain, or rheumatic pain, all his twitchings or tremblings, anything or whatever it be, mentally, everything they are fine during the sleep. Their patient is better during sleep. General aggravation on waking in the morning and amelioration in the evening hours. Agaricus patients are very sensitive. They know they cannot perform the mental works. They are slow, they are tardy, and when they are scolded or they are reprimanded, they fall sick. They can go into convulsion. They can get a headache. They can get a chest pain or a cough like this. They are very sensitive to scolding or reprimands. They are sensitive to sudden noise, a thunderstorm. They can get a convulsion from the noise of the thunder. Now, another thing, these nervous patients, agaricus patients, they get an aggravation from sexual intercourse. After a sexual intercourse, their complaints are aggravated. And as I told, from any noise, they can get a palpitation or a twitching. Another thing, agaricus patients are chilly. They are aggravated from cold or cold air. This is where there is a difference in awkwardness. In epismale, we find awkward patients, but epismale patients are relieved by cold. They want to get away from warm atmosphere. Agaricus patients feel better in warm atmosphere. Another important feature, agaricus patients, they have this sharp, cold, sharp needle or hot needle piercing sensation anywhere in the body. This is an important point. Another important sensation, they get an itching or crawling sensation upon the skin, under the skin, anywhere in the body. We find this in medurinum. In medurinum also there is such thing, which, but there is no rash, no eruption, only a itching, a crawling sensation. And if you scratch the place, the place of itching changes, goes elsewhere. This is a characteristic. It is often used in chilblains. Now, what are chilblains? The reddish spots after frostbite with itching, burning. We find agaricus very helpful there. The symptoms, apart from frostbite, also, if certain things, some things we find in agaricus patients, the nose, tip of the nose and the earlobes reddish with itching, burning, and redness, agaricus can be indicated. Agaricus patients come to use in spinal affections, in mental retarded boys, in many respiratory cases. Specifically, we have to know that agaricus is a nervous, spinal affections are found. Even in tubercular patients, we find. And another important thing, the agaricus patients are very fearless. They are courageous. They do not. They are not at all afraid. The agaricus children are fond of weird and horrible stories, and they can jump from any height. They are fearless. Such fearless they are. And at last, I will tell another important use. Agaricus is often used in bad effects of prolonged alcoholism. We find incoordination in the movements, trembling in old alcoholics, and in withdrawal effects of alcoholics. We find twitching and trembling in the hands. Here, agaricus is of good help. So, overall, at the end, I will remind this how to remember agaricus, the twitching, the trembling, the chorea, mentally, tardies people, tardy children, slow in development of mind, with awkwardness, with this sensitive backbone, sensitive to touch, this piercing needle or hot needle like piercing pains, aggravation in the morning hours, evening hours better, sleep during better. So all these are the points we should remember of Agaricus. Thank you so much for today. In next reading characters, I will be up with another talk.